that lighting is good on the webcam if I turn the lights off. I don't need them. They just get too bright. And the time is now, oh look at that, all ones. 1:11, July 2nd, 2021, Friday. That just changed to 1:12 p.m. Did the internet just go off and then come back on? Oh, something over there was saying it went offline. And then now all of a sudden StreamRaiders just said it couldn't refresh the page. But it says my internet is still on. I think the internet flicked off and then came back on. What's the difference between a homage and ripping something off? Paying a homage to something means you do something in honor of. Ripping it off means you're just doing the exact same thing. Why is that so hard to figure out? There it was. Might be a dumb question, but anyone ever feel they don't have a good enough education to be a writer? Well, I didn't go to school. And you can tell from how I talk, my ability to speak good grammar is not good. That didn't stop me. I never let that stop me. Wow. That already has 59 comments, and it's now been edited. Where was it? Where was it originally? When something gets that many comments that fast, usually it's a conversation between just two people. Is that it? No. That's it. Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah, I had 3 comments back then. So it might be harsh, but when I pick up famous Aussies' works, which everyone can't seem to talk about, must be everyone can't seem to stop talking about, such as Sanderson. Yeah, everybody talks about Sanderson. Everybody. I mean, you're going to see 10 or 12 posts mention his name every single day on this website. I've never heard of him before. And when I looked him up to see, I looked him up yesterday to see who is this guy, and I never heard of any of his books either. Never heard of this one before either. Their prose seems so boring. Probably because most fantasy writers don't write in prose, just like, you know, novels. People who say prose like that. The prose in this novel. They always seem to be European. In America, the word prose means when you're writing poetry, each line is a stanza. Each set grouping of lines is prose. So would people say prose in a novel? And they're not talking about hobbits writing poetry in Lord of the Rings. I'm left to wonder, what the hell are they talking about? Prose doesn't exist in novels. So clearly, prose in Europe means something different than prose in America does. I want to grow as a writer, so I get excited to learn things, then I feel bad as their writing is so simple, it genuinely annoys me a little. I believe that the simplicity of their prose is actually part of what makes people enjoy them so much. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier in the previous stream. They don't have to stop and look up any words. I mean, it's probably a small part. Characters, world building, plotting are much more crucial. And I might be wrong, but it's just a theory. Either that, or people excuse the basic prose in favor of other elements. And I agree with you. That's exactly what I was saying. Yet their prose is boring. Their attraction is mostly in the events and how the world works in their stories, not in the eloquence of their prose. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying before. Now it says it now has 59. See, it hasn't been edited yet. And it now has 59 and it's been edited. So what did they change? Oh, it got longer. So what did it say? Maybe I haven't read enough as the last line. Yeah, and then they added update to clarify. I don't mean big words or complex descriptions. What I do mean is using the writing medium at its fullest and most simple ways. That's another magic. I don't necessarily mean fancy words, but at times even those can hit home in a novel way. For example, movie directors using interesting shots to make things more cinematic and over time develop a unique style. I think being a good writer means using simple words to draw out emotion in its most raw form. This is something I hardly see in writing. Most books are just words, but lack the very emotion I hope to see from storytelling. This is different from feeling emotional towards a character because of the plot. Some words have weight and they're not complex at all. They tug at your heartstrings in the most simplest of ways, which makes you go, why did I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? You know, for somebody who is advertising themselves as an editor and their profile, this person they do, there's an awful lot of grammar mistakes in this. People look at that and they see, oh, you've got the editor tag. You're an editor. I might want you to edit my book. And then they're reading this post and they're like, wow, you can't edit your own Reddit posts worth shit. I ain't gonna let you edit my novel. Always edit your posts before you post them anywhere. Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere. If you are in the publishing industry at all. If you're a writer, if you're an editor, if you're a publisher, agent, whatever you are, edit your damn posts. There are so many grammar errors in this that I would never hire this person to edit my novels. They can't be bothered to edit their own writing in something that small. How can they be expected to edit something with 100,000 or more words? How many words is this that they couldn't be bothered to edit? Let's find out. I mean, this type of a thing bothers me quite a lot. It doesn't for regular people. If you're just anybody not in the writing industry, and you're just, oh wow, okay. But it's not even 300 words. It's 200. It's 200. Look at. 257 words. 9 of them are adverbs out of 3 or fewer should be here. This is an editor. For example, movie directors using interesting shots to make things more cinematic and over time develop a unique style. That is not only a fragment, but it is a long, long run-on sentence told in a fragment. That is... An editor shouldn't make mistakes like that. When you post anywhere online, you are representing yourself, whether you realize it or not. People are going to look at that and be like, that's an editor. I'm never going to hire you. You can see why I so rarely answer these posts and stuff on Reddit. Because these people should know better. I mean, these people are claiming to be professional writers, professional editors, professional agents. They can't even take the time to pay attention to their own writing when it's posted online. I mean, this is you publishing your work online. This is you publishing an example of, this is how I write. Not for nothing, but boring prose is readable. The big names are often big because they bring in readers who don't ordinarily read. That's exactly what I said in the previous stream. In the previous stream, we had opened this the first time and it didn't have any comments yet, and I was talking about it, but it's since been edited and it's much longer, and now it has 61 comments. But I was talking about how the average American, 73% of America, can't read above a 3rd grade level. That's the national census that tells you that. 73% of America. That's almost 3/4 of America can't read above a 3rd grade level. They're that illiterate. If you don't, that's why you see things like the Hemingway app, and I see so many people. Where's the Hemingway app? I see so many people on this Reddit. They talk about the Hemingway app, and they'll say, "Oh, my writing's terrible. It said I write grade 2. No, that means your writing is really good. That means most of America is going to understand it. The higher that number, this number right here where it says grade 6, the higher that number, the less likely you are going to be a bestseller. If you're writing 10, 12, 13, it goes all the way up to 20, so it goes up college levels. If you are writing anything above 5th grade, you don't have a chance in hell of being a bestseller. Really don't. And it's simply because the average American cannot read above a 3rd grade level. They may want to read, but when they open the book and look at the words and they can't understand what the words are, they're not going to read your book. And that's what this is saying here as well. Not for nothing. Boring prose is readable. The big names are often big because they bring in readers who don't ordinarily read their genre. That's what happened with Harry Potter. And we saw that. Kids who didn't normally read, kids who didn't even yet know how to read, were learning to read so they could read Harry Potter. This is a book that a lot of adults have a hard time reading because the words are larger than normal. But it's still a low enough reading level that little kids were reading it. Stephen King doesn't use big words. Yeah, have you ever heard Stephen King talk? You would swear he was a welfare bum who never saw the inside of a school. He can't talk real shit. The way he writes is the way he talks. And he's lovable. Everybody around here knows him. He's a storyteller, that's the other thing. And you see people like Stephen King who get really, really, really big sales. He's not focusing on the words. He tells a story. He sits down and he writes the story. He doesn't sit there and focus on, I need to make this word perfect, I need to make that word perfect, I need to hide a hidden meaning, I need a theme. No, he just writes the story. Tell stories well, yeah. I mean, that's what I just said. Storytelling. They focus on telling a story. They do not focus on trying to get the exact, most perfect word. No, they tell a story. Yep, because at the end of the day, it's not about the writer, it's about the reader. I agree with that. Did I upload that? I didn't upload that. Wait a minute, upload that. I agree with pretty much everything that one said. Or they were saying the same stuff I said. You have to remember your audience is everything like it doesn't. You have to remember. Should say who. You have to remember who your audience is. Everything like it doesn't matter how well and technically great and gifted at writing you are if no one reads it. No one reads it. Wow, are they borderline illiterate? This person here replying. Like I said, people who aren't writers, when they write like this on Reddit, they're just random people on the random Reddits, and they're not writers, they're not editors, they're not publishers, they're not agents. So I'm like, oh yeah, they're one of the 73% that doesn't know how to do anything beyond a 3rd grade level. Obviously, this post is one of those people. But someone trying to pass themselves off as a writer, an editor, an agent, a publisher, if they are having this much trouble getting through a single sentence, they might want to rethink their career. Jim Butcher, don't know him, writes for an audience that's damn near going from the kid. Jim Butcher writes for an audience that's damn near going from the kid that's 13 in school all the way up to 28-year-olds that are finishing their masters in college. The Dresden series alone bridges at least 4 generation gaps in my personal life. Granted, I hang out with a bunch of tabletop RPG types, but still, even with that large gap, they gravitate towards these. Oh, this is so bad. This is so painfully horribly bad. Look at that. Oh wow. I knew I was having that much trouble reading that. It was all gonna be red. These people are supposed to be writers. You gotta remember, when you post something like this and people go and look at your profile and see, ooh, things like that, wow, there's Reddit. Do you see what that was? I know, if you're an American, you're probably too retarded to know what that is. But that is QAnon. Americans like to run around and say, oh, QAnon, 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 and they got They're red, white, and blue stars and stripes cues that they go around with signs. They don't seem to know what QAnon is. Q, the Star Trek character Q, username on 4chan. Q's anonymous philosophy of Chanology terrorist organization. That is the actual name of the group, where terrorist is part of their name. It's a Portuguese group founded in Portugal, whose goal is to completely annihilate all Americans. All gay people, all black people, all Jewish people, and everybody else who's not an Aryan race. And yet there are Americans who bounce around and are, we are Trumpies, and they call themselves QAnon. I'm like, are you sure you know what QAnon is? You might want to go on the official QAnon website, 4chan.com, and actually find out what they preach, because they want to kill all Americans. That's right on their website, what their society believes. And oh look, there's their logo. That is QAnon. Not a big Q with red and white stripes and blue stars, no. That, I can't remember his name, his face. Actual QAnon always wears that mask. Like the Ku Klux Klan, they hide their identity, they hide their faces behind masks and hoods. They wear long black hooded robes and they wear that V mask. Look them up. They're one of the more extreme radical hate groups. People who are actually fans of that movie don't dare to be fans of that movie anymore because of QAnon too. It's awful. The point being, the audience almost calls it 85% of the time is more important than the technical skill. The number is 77%. But yes, yeah, right. I know it makes sense. The audience matters, but it's hard for me to personally get into those books because I'm also looking for some depth. Just like there are good directors for movies. Can I emphasize, you are emphasizing yourself as an editor on a writing forum? Can I just point it out? I feel that older writers, regardless of genre, even delving into philosophy or psychology, had a stronger and unique voice compared to today. Yeah, I agree with that. This is the OP opening poster talking. do agree with that. I have a hard time reading anything written 90s towards today. Like around maybe 94. Mid-90s earlier, writing is much better. Mid-90s to today, especially mid-2000s, around 2013 to today, writing has just gone to shit. I actually think a lot of it is these people who are just, they're scared to write anything because they might offend somebody. Somebody's going to be offended. Oh, well, I can't do that. Somebody's going to be offended. I gotta be careful not to say this. It might upset somebody. I gotta be careful not to do that. I can't. It's just... It seems like most writers today they're so scared of offending somebody that they don't dare to write. And I think that's why you see stuff like that, where nobody has a strong, unique voice anymore. Everybody has the same, I'm a goody two-shoe, I ain't gonna step on toes, I'm such a little crybaby. Yeah, all those little sensitive snowflakes out there that might attack. You know what? Tell the fucking snowflakes to jump off a cliff and write your novel. So I have a really long response that I want to type up and send, but the long and short of it would be, I believe you're fishing in the wrong waters. This might not be the genre of authors and writers you should be looking to that will give you that. Wow is the... This... This is a forum of supposedly professionally published authors. We've got 3 in a row that can't write worth shit. This is only 3 sentences long. That's 3 sentences long. If you can't write 3 sentences, how can anybody expect you to write a novel? Do you really think people read this, they're going to look at your profile and be, oh, I want to look up and see what they write. They write really good. No, they're going to look at up your profile and they go, I want to make sure I know what you write so that I don't ever try to buy, I don't want to waste my money buying your book. If you can't write a simple forum post, funny the way that people say about comics. Comics limited to 16 pages, no more, no less. Yes. Yep. Now you have to tell me a story about a young man's influenced by an idea in the comic. It's his fault because he didn't be stealing. I'm referring to Spider-Man. He didn't catch all that. That's his fault. Superman, my superhero. I know my superheroes. You know what, from stuff I've seen, people who talk like this, usually I bring up Twilight, which is pretty awful on a line-by-line adult level, but it was also a perfect story for 14-year-old girls. And I talk about women, but when you see people talking about Twilight, it's usually men. Way more often than women. A lot of guys like Bella. Ernest Hemingway and Jane Austen both. Yeah, I know. That's the thing, I don't understand. Why did people try to write the biggest, most elegant words they can? Why not just write the stories so people can understand it? People read those authors because they want the book equivalent of a blockbuster, not the book equivalent of an art house. Yeah, I agree with you. So and I was actually able to just read your sentence. This person writes like a writer. I was actually able to read and understand what they were writing without zip, 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 zip. Poor Faulkner. Does he really think big emotions come from big words? He thinks I don't know the $10 words. I know them already. But there are older, simpler, and better words, and those are the ones I use. I like this. I feel like the OP writes some very careful prose. Yes, kind of had that feeling, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think they can pull off writing. Even though they claim to be a professional editor, they seem to have trouble with different words. Writing has become too much challenge. Yes, I do agree with that. I hope they ruin it for you, because it seems amateurish. If you have some amazing world or past, I want to see it. I don't want to constantly be told that this exists and that's just how the world is. I thought you meant they were ruining writing. Yeah. This post contradicts that post. They did contradict themselves there. Sanderson at BYU. Is he alone? Still don't know who he is. Everybody keeps talking about him. Waste time on Reddit telling people not to waste time on Reddit. Oh, that's like a bad karma. I haven't seen him in a long time. I am the reasons. Are you actually? No, I see his profile. You don't have a... They posted a lot of political stuff. No. Yeah, this guy's a moderator on a lot of them. It doesn't say. I wonder. There's a. I have it. A book. Red Wizards. Oh, I was wondering, is that the author? I agree with you as well. Yeah, I think people know Sanderson from videos because they're always talking about Sanderson's videos. He's a college professor. He makes videos on writing, but I don't know any of his books. Yeah, I agree with this too. Readers don't read books for prose, they want the story. It is much harder to write simply. This one makes a good point. I'm just gonna upload all of you because I like. Yeah, upload all of you. Alright, fanfics for that. And my brother was reading my stuff and he says, "What did you do, Drex?" Looks like I wrote fanfiction for it. I like Drex. Yes, he's one of my favorites. Terry Pratchett, he's the one. Ain't he the one everybody keeps telling me? They always keep wanting to know. I've got so many people have asked. That's the name, right? They keep wanting to know. Were you inspired by Terry Pratchett? And I was like, I don't know who Terry Pratchett is. I'm pretty sure that's the name. It's the same name. I knew when I looked him up. What did he write? Discworld. Yes, that is it. I knew if I saw the name, I would recognize the name of the book. Because I don't know him or his books. But that's the one. Everybody who talks about they like the Quaraun books, they always say because they like Terry Pratchett and it's similar and he died and they started reading my books because there weren't any more of his books. And they're always like, "Oh my God, you must be such a big fan of him." And I'm like, I never heard of him. I don't know who he is. I never read his books. I don't know him. No clue. But apparently, according to people who are fans of the Quaraun series is a hell of a lot like Discworld. I've never read Discworld, so I don't know. High school level prose is a disease in modern fantasy genre, especially when it comes to English. We haven't started editing yet, but I know this. We get stuck doing other stuff. Want to write antagonists into my story who can stop time, but how? Oh, I don't know. Just give him sheep feet and have him run around with portals that. Oh wow, look at that. Now nobody can do anything. Oh, writing in order. No, I never did that. Why did that come out so loud? Oh no. We need to turn the volume down. We need gold chests. So yeah, ain't gold chest. I think we're gonna keep going a different way. That's battle in progress. Alright. So let's see what we got in the west. Bombs need to be dropped. Okay. But we need 1,000 coins. That's what we... Those two I just looked at, right? What's yours got? I think that one's always question marks. Also pearls. I think I closed that one. It didn't close, right? Yeah. Is it starting to rain again? You can hear it raining again. That's... Everybody's got problems. Oh, you got one of these. And it's gold. Alright. And it's got 10 minutes. Okay. And this one's only got 3 minutes. It is gold and it's 3 minutes. What do you need? You are looking for... You got melee. This is the only melee that's gonna work for you. Where you go? What are those? Shields. Okay. You're in placement period. There it goes. Okay, you take... Battle in progress. Well, you started that early because that had another 10 minutes. And then we added a 3-minute one after. Alright. So, we were supposed to be added it. We ain't done that yet. Rascal just said they jumped up. I might not jumped up. Good chest. gives us 20, 30, 42. Now the question is, do you always start early? But you don't have gold chests, so that's right. I want to select campaign. You're doing this one as well. Also a gold chest. And an epic. Did I put an epic on open? Wait, you want a bomb? I can give you an epic. There we go. You know, it occurs to me that I've been spelling Findaru's name 2 different ways, and I've been spelling Ophelia's name 2 different ways. We need to figure out which one do we want to use, and turn all of the other one into that same one. I've been spelling it Findaru with an E, and Findaru with an A. And sometimes I spell Ophelia with an F, and sometimes I spell it with a PH. I think I'm inclined to naturally spell Ophelia with an F, ain't that what I've been doing? So it's only twice it was? I am getting very tired. Well, just that. Wow. Wasn't just that one, got 11 things. And 57. Loyalty. It's not a loyalty super boss, though. The loyalty super boss is the one I'd rather have. And right now we're looking for gold chests anyways. You are in the last few seconds. I wanted to give you that. What is yours? It's a bronze, but we don't have to wait for it. There's a raid at the end right now. Unless they end up being one of those ones that doesn't check their thing for an hour. So where did we leave off? Doom and gloom, gloom and doom. He's reciting his repetitiveness. Let's see. I know we edited that one yesterday. Also, I think we've got a plot error. It was bugging me. There's a point where Quaraun says, where he talks to Ophelia, and he says, Keelan couldn't say he wanted a love spell. He wouldn't say the word love. So, some of the earlier parts he is, and I just saw a part where it said that. It says, what is her favorite color? And he answers, I love her. And Quaraun says, love is not a color. Not sure how to fix that. I'm wondering, do we want to take out the part where Quaraun says Keelan couldn't say that he loved her? Or do we want to rewrite the parts where he says the word love? I'm undecided. Because Quaraun is the one always talking about love. Quaraun is obsessed with it. So he's the one that is just over and over and over again talking about it. And then there's some places where I'd forgotten that I had put that other scene in. So it contradicts. It's contradicting. One of them's wrong, and I don't know which one to take out yet. So when the story was first written, it hinges on the fact, when the short story that we're now converting into a novel, it hinges on the fact that he kept saying, I need Ophelia. And Quaraun kept asking him to reword the wish, and he wouldn't. Keelan wouldn't reword the wish. He couldn't get Keelan to say love. The stuff that we added this week, there's several places where he does say. He does come out and say he loves Ophelia. And I think I need to rewrite those sections. Also, I'm getting very tired. I may go take a nap. And we haven't done much editing either. This or the last stream. Did hardly any editing. Oh, we went down. But, you know, we're saving up for a thing up there, but those things down here that we needed, that one too. Go ahead and the others are common enough that we don't need to get on yet. We can get on this. There it is. But I think I'm going to go take a nap. I haven't gone to bed yet. It is now 2:17 p.m. and I am getting tired. We did talk about writing stuff, though. We didn't do much edited. We edited, what, 2 or 3 sentences? I don't think we didn't edit anything last stream, did we? But that's because we got sidetracked on where you ended up on Reddit talking about the Reddit stuff too much, and we got sidetracked with this. We had a lot of sidetrack. Oh yeah, this is one. I reword this too, because this. I know he mentioned Spoon Fuzzy Tequila earlier, and that part should be moved over to here. There's some places where, because there's 3 different short stories, and I'm combining them together into one bigger story. And then I'm rewriting the whole thing so that it flows like a novel. So we've got some plot issues and just some structure issues. Also, I did edit some stuff, so save it so you don't lose it. It wasn't much, it was only a couple sentences, but still. Do we have any more? Oh, we did. The 31. Look at all the vampires. I put my vampire down here, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Can't put one of you. Put one of you. Or I could have put that same one, but that one lit up little things. I don't remember. Did we look? It's a question. I have a vampire I can put down next to you. I'm going to stop here just because I'm getting very, very tired. Also, there's a plot issue with this. So my father was the king's younger brother. And in other places he says his father was the king. I'm going to have to go back and reread Hanging Tree, because Hanging Tree is the one that's accurate. So I need to see which one it says in that. I can't remember. I was trying to remember which one it is. It doesn't matter one way or the other if his father was the king or if his father was the brother of the king, because either way, Quaraun ends up killing both of them and crowning himself king. So, but it needs to be consistent, whichever one it is. Alright. I will be back on whenever.